That's right. Welcome back to the Puck Drop Podcast. I'm Cole, the NHL Music Man Chapman, and I'm here with Lieutenant Tangle D, Destin Edgington. And this episode is brought to you by Hockey Stops. Don't you forget that. One-stop shop up in Ogden and Logan. And we're also brought to you by Utah Brewing Co. in Ogden. Can't say enough about Utah.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I've been there, like 3 or 4 times in the past 2 weeks.
You're also going on vacation.
Yeah.
So you gotta get it in, right?
Don't be jealous. But yeah, go check out Utah. Summertime is coming up. That means baseball season. We've got the Ogden Raptors. The Ogden Raptors outfield shares the back patio of Utah. So go check them out. Go watch some Ogden Raptors games. And yeah. We've got a very special guest here with us today, Dave Joseph. How we doing? Dave is the arena announcer for the Delta Center, for the Utah Hockey Club specifically.
Yes, sir.
So let's hear it, man.
Hold on. Before we dive in, I think Cole's a little nervous right now. I've never once.
I'm pumped.
I've never once seen him stumble over his words.
Well, you interrupted me.
Nah, I was waiting. But
You interrupted
me. I'm going to just sit back on this one and enjoy. So we got 2 voices over here. And
I'm here to chat. Whatever you guys need to know.
Anything we need to know?
We
want to know, need to know? Sure. I don't know if I can give it to you, but I can. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, Dave, I think you've done stuff with the Salt Lake Bees. Is that correct?
I will start working for the Salt Lake Bees this summer.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I'll be the on-field host for the Bees. So you'll see me doing contests and interviews and things like that on the field. Yeah.
Awesome. I saw them posting some stuff today. They were doing some warm-ups at their new facility.
Ballpark. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be great. So that should be a good summer. Interesting to start when they open a brand new field.
Yeah, for sure.
Many years, I guess, at Smith's Ballpark here downtown. So it's going to be a little different, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Kind
of falls into the, new sports in Utah anyways. So
yes,
I think we should all just be used to it by now, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a spark for, obviously, commentating everything that you do, right? What led you to get there? I mean, should we go back though? Should we revert back to this? Because I want to.
Yeah, you already asked the question. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Let's go. I don't know. I started off. Well, I played sports my whole life, so I've always been a sports fan. So it's something that comes naturally. It's not something that you need to force. Right. I started off in radio, doing radio when I was 16 years old. So I was a radio DJ at a small town in Michigan where I grew up. And I started at 16. I was playing records and filling in as the news guy and doing weekends and doing everything you could possibly do in radio. So I thought when I went to college, I might as well get into radio because it seemed like a logical thing, right?
Yeah.
So I went to college at Hofstra University on Long Island, majored in communications, got a job at a radio station on Long Island. After I graduated, I worked in New York City for 3 years above Madison Square Garden at 2 Penn Plaza. I work for WABC Radio, WPLJ Radio, sister stations.
Beautiful.
So it was just something that's always been in my blood. I worked there for 3 years, moved to Providence for a year, stayed in radio, then moved to LA in 2000. And I lived in Los Angeles for 20 years where I worked for ESPN Radio, Fox Sports Radio, NBC Radio. Trying to think if I'm leaving anything out. That's where I hooked up with the Los Angeles Kings and was the PA announcer for the LA Kings
I do
8
remember,
seasons from 2013 to 2020.
Do you remember hearing that?
Yeah. So it's just been something that I've always been around. I played hockey growing up since I was 3-4 years old. Played Division II at Hofstra, college hockey, ACHA, Division II club. Couldn't do much better than that. That was about the height of my career.
Well, no wonder why I didn't get the PA announcing job. I'm competing with this guy.
And then when I was in LA, the team won the Stanley Cup in 2014 So you got to announce the Stanley Cup and all that fun stuff.
That is epic. Wow. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Well, you're familiar with the native, Trevor Lewis.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course, Lou balls.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've called many penalties and goals. And
hey, shout out Trevor Lewis. We need to get you on. He played for the Stars as well.
There you go.
He'll be here in the off season, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Usually, I think he spends his time here. His off season.
Very nice. So. Yeah, I was here in 2017 or 28. I forget the year. 2017, 2018, when the Kings came out and they played at Vivint they played Dallas and I believe it was Colorado that year. They played 2 games.
Is that Frozen Fury?
Yeah. So I announced those 2 games here. That was my first interaction with Salt Lake City, and I was like, wow, this is a pretty cool city.
Well, and with that being said, anticipated or speculated, if you will, that was going to be a thing where they're doing a test market.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always got to be something on a backing to move forward with something.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the transaction happened rapidly, but at the end of the day, there was a market. I mean, that happened for like 5 or 6 years for it to become.
Oh, yeah. And the crowds here were great. They were always great. Obviously, the Kings, before that, we would play in Las Vegas, but then Vegas got their team. So that was out because they own that market. Then it was like, where do you go next?
Where do we go?
And this was the perfect market, perfect situation.
And I've seen Vegas, Vegas, when the Kings would come here and do that, it was Vegas versus Kings. And so, yeah, that was a good time. So what brought you here to Utah specifically?
This job.
Yeah, was it? All right.
I saw the job posting.
I was wondering.
Threw my name in the hat, and luckily was fortunate enough to interview with some great people here, and came in September and haven't looked back. It's been fantastic. Yeah.
So did you submit your submission video and everything?
I did all that stuff. Yeah. I did all that stuff. Yeah. I went through a couple rounds of interviews.
He's probably got a little bit of a resume.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard ESPN in there, but
right. I did PA announcing at the local city celebration.
At a watch party with us. No. And you guys have the voice for it. I feel like I'm trying to yell over here and I'm not going to yell over you, but I love it. This is awesome, and I appreciate you coming out. This is fun.
Of course, it's fantastic. Thanks for having me on.
So I'm dying to hear some reads that you do in the.
Oh man, what do you guys want to hear?
I want you.
I didn't bring anything with me.
I want you to do. So I love the Logan Cooley.
Okay.
Whenever he scores a goal. Because just his name, like any name with a double
Logan Cooley.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Give it to us.
That one started in, I did PA for the 2023 Frozen Four in Tampa. And Cooley was playing in that. One of those games. He was Minnesota kid, right? So he's playing and he scored a goal and I did it then. Yeah. And that's the first time I got to call Cooley. And then when I came here, I was like, oh, there he is again. Yeah. So I get to carry that on. So that was,
Well, to piggyback off of that name, like in the sports world, whenever somebody has like a double O in their name, it's like you could do the cool. It sounds like people are booing, but if you know type of thing.
Well, and that started in Los Angeles with Drew Dowdy. So I would say Drew.
Okay.
And the whole crowd would go Drew.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've noticed Utah people doing it for Cooley.
They have.
Have you? Okay,
yeah, they've been picking up on it.
I was going to say, we need to get that going for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to piggyback off of that because we were sitting above the net, right? And it was going opposite way. So we were watching an opposing team, offense coming at us.
Yep.
And we started doing that with the gentleman where it's like you yell the last name of the goalie. We need to get this going.
Mm-hmm.
Goal, you suck.
You suck.
So,
or call out their name,
whatever it is. Yeah. Goalie or whatever,
That's a hockey man.
Literally they scored.
Yeah.
We scored, excuse me.
Like 10 seconds later, we scored.
And he turned around and mugged us. Just gave us the meanest mug. And I was like, it worked. And then just the whole time. And then we ended up winning.
Yeah.
And that was against Dallas.
So you guys didn't do that against Detroit? Is that what you're saying?
We weren't
there. Dude, that was rough.
We got to seats.
That was rough, man.
No, it's just you can start to hear the development of everything going into it. And that's what it takes is like there's a lingo, there's always a chant. There's something for something to get involved. And I think that's the biggest thing too is like you can't just let the players go out and tilt somebody. It's got to be the crowd that tilts.
Players,
And I think they've been picking up on that too with even after the team scores and it's let's go Utah and there's the clap, which is people have picked up on that
and the
which
slow
is really good.
Utah.
Yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
So out of curiosity, and I know there's probably a lot of like rules with the NHL. Mm-hmm. Do you have any power to make announcements like that to kind of help the crowd get going? Or is that like just a personal thing, or
is it more
what?
Of a scripted
there's more of a script. There's a script for every game. Mm-hmm. There's obviously the video that plays before the game starts, and the ice lights up and it says it's time. Mm-hmm. So I'll say Utah, it's time, and then the crowd starts to get into it a little bit, and then before puck drop, there's I'll say Utah, here we go, or something to that effect to get the crowd into it. After that, it's not so much me unless there's on the power play. So I was like, it's make some noise. It's a Rio Tinto power play.
Yeah.
But then we also have a hype guy, so to speak, Michael Goodkind, who does a great job. He's fantastic. And he's in the crowd and he gets the crowd into it, and different hype situations. He'll build the crowd up, and hey, let's hear some noise. Let's make some noise. Let's east side of the building, west side of the building, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's not so much that it's against NHL regulations or anything like that. We just have that's kind of his role,
like a monologue of sort.
Yeah, and mine is more like I'll do the hype thing at the beginning of the game, but then kind of leave it to him for the rest of the game, and I just handle the the goals, the penalties, all the the housekeeping, bookkeeping and stuff that has to be done.
Well, and that's what Mr. Broussard, Tim, was explaining to me when I did that with the NCDC junior. And I'm sitting there listening in, and it was back and forth of like, you got to know when to throw up the logos of sponsorship.
Oh yeah,
When to, there's a people in place for everything.
Oh, it's a full production thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, no matter what level you're at.
And it was just fascinating to see what goes into that just in a little. It's not little. I mean, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, and what people don't realize is there's probably 15 people on headset, 15 to 20 people on headset, from your music person to PA guy to your two in-arena hosts to the person who's calling the show to the people in the production room to the person running the scoreboard. Like there are all these people who are communicating constantly, and you're getting that feedback. You're getting that action in your ear the entire time. You're hearing people call,
you're up next.
Get this ready. Get this. Stand by with this. DJ June, get ready with this. You go.
Buttons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, push the buttons. Go.
Yeah, the goal. Someone scores. Utah scores a goal. Our goal guy is right there with the goal horn, hitting the goal horn button, and it's a huge team, and the team here is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
And for people that haven't necessarily worked in hockey before, because a lot of them were with the Jazz before, so they have experience with basketball, but not hockey.
It's like, whoop.
Yeah, it's a different game.
A little bit different.
It's a faster pace, right? Yeah, the game moves at a quicker speed, and they picked up on it great. They've been nothing but fantastic here. Awesome. Just a great team all around.
And just even for example, like in a minimalistic, experience, right?
Yeah,
I had 2 sets of headphones. I'm listening to the broadcast. It's like a delay of let's say 3 to 15 seconds. And it would go back and forth, and I'm pulling headphones off, putting it back on, reading this, clicking a button.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot to it.
There needs to be more people here. Yeah. It was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'll give you for example, when we do starting lineups, it's okay. Go with the opening read. So I'll say tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Zions Bank, and then Bill Hoops, who calls the show, he'll say, okay, go left wing. So then that cues the person who's running the scoreboard to put the graphic up for Clayton Keller if he's starting at left wing.
Yeah.
So then I'll say the captain, at left wing, the captain, number 9, Clayton Keller. Then he'll say, okay, go right wing. And I say, okay, at right wing, number 8, Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah.
Then go center. At center, number 27, Barrett. So he's telling both of us at the same time when to cue the video, when to cue me. So my read is matching up with the headshot that's shown up on the video board. So it's all this. One after one after one after, and then it's okay. Go anthem. Let's go. Oh yeah. And now here to sing the national anthem.
Oh, please welcome. Intense, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
Cole's like, go learn. I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah. It's a lot. If you've never done it before, you'd be blown away. Most people would be blown away where they'd be like, you have to do this every game.
Yeah.
And after a while, it's just a cadence, and you become familiar with what it is, and you know who you're listening to. But if you've never done it before, it's something where you're like, whoa, this is crazy. There's a lot going on here. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would help my dad. I remember helping my dad during the NBA. I want to say my dad was there when the Jazz went to the finals. And that was when. What'd you say?
Was that 98?
Push off?
Yep.
6 years old.
Right? Yeah. But super interesting stuff. It's cool to, hear it from the behind the scenes perspective.
Yeah, there's just so much that goes on during the game from an entertainment perspective to then a lot of people don't know. When there's a goal that happens, I can't just announce the goal. Like, obviously, I can see who scored the goal, but I have to wait for it to be official from the league. So there are off-ice officials that are in the penalty box and upstairs.
Yeah. And everything gets relayed.
So first, the way this works is the referee comes over and he tells the off-ice official who scored the goal.
Yeah.
So he'll say, 14's got the goal. So then the off-ice official will then relay to me, I'm wearing a headset. And he'll say, 14's got the goal. So I write down 14.
Yeah.
Then they go back and look on the tape who he got the puck from, so who the 2 assists are from.
Okay.
So then that person then radios to me, the assists are 9 and 10.
That's why you've almost got like a segment of
That's
play
why there's
before.
a wait.
And then they,
correct.
Yeah, and then
people
they
often wonder
announce
that.
it.
Yeah, like
okay.
what's taking them so long? And a lot of times what happens is if there's a deflection, if there's a tip, if there's something that bounces off the opposing player, they have to go back and look to see who touched that puck because we can't make the announcement until they say it's official.
Yeah.
So I have to wait for the league to tell me who got the goal, who got the assist before I can make any announcement. Then I have to then take that information and tell it to the people on the game entertainment staff. So I will then tell it to our show caller, Bill. I'll say 9 from 10 and 14. And then he'll relay that to our technical director who puts up the headshots on the scoreboard
and everything.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it all corresponds together.
Yeah.
So then Bill will say, everyone ready? Everyone's ready. Let's go with the goal. Then he said, Dave, go ahead. Utah goal, his 26th of the season, scored by the captain, number 9, Clayton Keller.
And that makes perfect sense. I mean, it really does when you break it down to that.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's not youth hockey where you're like, who got the goal? And you're kind of like, I'm going to go read the score sheet. Then I got the assist. No, I got the assist. You know? But like that obviously is reason why you're going to get the numbers the way that they need to be. And that's cool. And that's awesome.
A lot of times what would happen, I know when I was in LA, this happened a lot. There were guys, we'll call them cookie monsters because they always wanted to get their cookies. They always wanted to get their points. So the ref would come over and he'd say, all right, I got 20 on this team telling me that he touched the puck. Can you guys go back and look at that? So the off-ice guys are like, are you kidding me? And then they have to go back and see the team because all these guys want their stats so they can, meet different bonus requirements or whatever it might be. So if they think they touched it, and rightfully so, but a lot of guys, there were some guys that were like notorious for, I got a stick on that. And you're like, dude, you were at the other end of the ice. Like you weren't even close.
Actually, it's a penalty for too many men on the ice. That was
right. Yeah, there's some interesting stories there.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you about one specific game.
Sure.
You read the goal announcement. Yeah. I feel like it was like 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
It was a late one. And then
the other team scored?
Yep. And then after you announced it, I was like, no.
Yeah.
It was like, you jinxed us.
That was a case where we had to wait because we didn't know. And they kept saying, we don't know who got it. We don't know who got it. And then everyone's asking me, well, what are we doing? Who got the goal? And I have to say, I don't know because I can't say anything until the league, the NHL off-ice officials in the building tell me. There was the own goal that happened a couple of games ago.
You guys didn't know what was going on.
I never announced it because they never found it.
Oh, wow.
They said, we got to go back and look again. We're looking again. Back up the tape. They couldn't find it. I think eventually they gave it to Stenlund. I think Stenlund got it.
Yeah, and he got the penalty at the exact
which
same time.
I've never seen that before. I've seen a lot of hockey. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Dude, that was wild.
He was the last player to touch the puck.
Yeah.
And then the other team touched it and put it in their own net. So he gets credit for the goal.
And he got a penalty
and then he goes
at the
to the
exact
penalty
same
box.
moment,
Which
is insane.
Which is crazy.
History
Pull
in the
up the
making
stats.
in and of itself. That is absolutely
I've never seen that happen before. That was crazy. But I didn't get to announce that goal because they could never find it. And then Sergei scored the empty netter after that. So I announced that one. But I was like, if I don't know it, I can't say it.
Yeah, I was watching it on TV. I was like, what are we doing? This is like not good. And then immediately we got a score done. I was like, no.
Well, just in and of itself, that is wild. I've never even heard of that in my life. Ever. So, I don't know. I was going to tilt on something else, but I don't know.
Well, how are you liking Utah? How are you liking Utah
I love
so far?
Utah.
You're new here.
Everyone asked me that, and someone asked me that today. I said, this is, the word I've used is healthy.
Yeah.
This is healthy. So I lived in LA for 20 years.
Once we get the smog out, it's
not once the inversion is not here. I lived in LA for 20 years. It was great. But in terms of like you're always on the go. There's so much traffic. There's so many people. It's this dog eat dog. And it doesn't feel like that to me here. I know there's traffic and I know there's, people, there's a lot of people here. But it feels healthier with the outdoor lifestyle. Yeah, with the mountains all
people
around
active
you.
And
people are on bikes.
Activity.
People are skiing. People are doing everything.
And every canyon has a lake after it.
Yes,
river.
It's so beautiful here. And I drove.
Quit telling people.
But it sucks again. It sucks.
Don't come here. Don't come here. You don't want to live here
unless you're playing hockey. We don't want.
You're right. I was in Vegas this weekend. I went with a couple of buddies.
Go to Vegas.
Go to Vegas.
Lose all your money.
And just the drive there is unbelievable. You're going through the canyons and everything is just like, wow, this is amazing.
Once you go up north to down south, it's totally different.
Yeah. It's
And
just beautiful
all the way. Yeah.
Such beautiful. And my wife and I have an apartment downtown, so we see a lot of downtown and have done a lot of things downtown. We've been up to Park City to do the tourist stuff and whatever, and that's beautiful too. But everything here that we've encountered so far is just fantastic. I mean, cannot say enough how beautiful everything is, how nice people have been. Just the most, it just feels, it's been open and welcoming and very healthy. Yep. And I loved it. I've been here since September. Fantastic.
Well, we don't want you to go anywhere.
Love that. Yeah.
He's the only one.
No, you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll stay if you want me to stay. I'll stay.
We do.
No, I was so like, as my own, like putting in for that job, I was like, once I heard you, I was like, he's good. He's solid. He's
like,
great.
All right.
He knows what he's doing. That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No.
It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we want the team to make the playoffs, right? And they had a good run, and it's not over by any means.
Well, yeah, you're going to see polls and this 5% stuff and this
5.3%.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could happen. Still can happen.
GBT,
but
who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
listen, it's been a great inaugural season. What Ryan Smith has done is just remarkable to put this team on the ice in 4 months or 5 months, whatever it was. Never been done before, and look where they are. They're fighting for a playoff spot. That's pretty incredible.
Huge, and especially going from 4,500 in a stadium arena to all of a sudden 10 to whatever
15
or
16,000. Is it 16?
Yeah. I think at capacity it's 16.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, come on. Like, good for you. And hats off. Have you met him yet?
I have not met him. I've been near him, but I haven't.
Yeah, all three of us want to.
Thank you for hiring me.
Yeah. We all want to meet you.
Yeah. It's been nothing but, top notch stuff for the team. All the guys on the team say it. The management says it's just everything they've been offered. The practice facility that he's building, everything is just A+.
Well,
like, couldn't be better.
Mention, another thing too is like he's actually going to hit every municipal.
Oh, right. So, with an ice rink.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I feel like we have a lot. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, there's so many kids. Because like when I coach, 5 teams at the 12U level. 5 teams. You know how hard it is to get ice time? If you've got that much growth on a 12U level, we need more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of so Utah is one of the younger states in the nation. There's bigger families here.
Yep.
I think I read something Ryan said the other day that there's 70,000 junior Jazz players.
Oh wow!
So and it's like the biggest in any NBA junior basketball association. So yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what the hockey turns into, but. If we grow to those numbers, we're for sure going to need some more facilities.
He's doing everything right, though. I mean, just the grassroots growing in the game. And the other night at the game, we were talking about a girls program that's going to nationals and got a $20,000 check to help them out.
We're close friends with all of them.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just this is fantastic. Everything he's doing is fantastic. And if you're a player or you're a coach for that team and you came from the situation that they were in Arizona and now you're here, I think you've got to be thrilled beyond belief just to have that ownership and an owner who cares.
Mm-hmm. And the confidence that goes with that.
Yes,
in and
absolutely.
Of itself for anything.
He's been amazing.
All the way up.
Yep.
It's just a trickle effect of amazing.
Yeah, you're going to see huge growth in this state in hockey in the next couple of years.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like even the players, like the Utah Hockey Club players, they kind of just fit in Utah. Like the way that I mean that's just hockey in general, but yeah, I mean just NHL players, hockey players, they're just so genuine, so nice.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What do you think of the name?
Ooh, dude, I keep going back and forth, to be honest.
Between
the Mammoth and Outlaw.
You like both of those things?
I like those.
The club?
I like the club.
I just don't think that the marketability and entertainment aspect. So I'm big in the entertainment side of production of a hockey game.
Yeah, I get that.
I want to go back on this again though. So when our first episode, right, when we were in his house, in his studio, we got talking about it, and it was like, the Outlaws would be cool because you've got the shootout, Butch Cassidy. You could do a big time marketing with that. Mm-hmm. Now I'm over here. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I like the hockey club because that's like 1890s of when it started. And I think you can find a mascot, and I think the Mammoth would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I keep going back and forth.
So I'm kind of like,
I think arena entertainment, I think the Outlaws has the most potential for arena entertainment. All the sounds, all the
the shootout, the
videos,
cell,
stuff like that. Mammoth I like because, dude, imagine the fur coats. Like you could just be repping around,
the big hats.
And the mammoth,
with like tusks and stuff.
Well, and the mammoth, I mean that still originates from here. Like when they find the first one here, whatever. But like I think that just, I mean, there's history on both ends.
I think you could do what you were saying though, also with. You do Utah Hockey Club, and then you do Mammoth as the de facto mascot or whatever, and you have a third jersey with Mammoth on it, or And again, like I have no inside information on that, but I was just interested to hear. People talk about it all the time.
Sure.
Do you want them to stick with Utah Hockey Club? Would you rather they go with a nickname? You know what I mean? I think Utah Hockey Club is different because nobody else has that.
I do like it.
I do too, because it's like I said, that dates back to like the 1890s where they were just hockey clubs before they had the original 6.
Right.
Like there's history in that in and of itself.
Right.
And so the more you dig and dive, I mean, and I've known that for quite some time. We've talked about it for a while, and it's like that's awesome. And they're just elegant, simple jerseys. I mean, the color's already solidified. We can already
the color's awesome.
Agree with
so
that.
I love the colors. On the color, I've got some that you might not know.
Go for it.
That's what I love about this. And this is
that color inverted. So I do all of our social medias and I do like graphic designing and whatnot for our socials. That blue perfectly inverted is like pretty much like the color of our red rocks.
Like going down to Moab.
Oh, really?
Like,
so
like
if you
delicate
put those
arch
together and they work.
Yeah, and I put it side by side with the delicate arch, and it was pretty dang close.
That's
like,
great.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Probably.
You know? Like a
yeah.
spin-off jersey or something.
Well,
you
not
know?
even that. I mean, they could start to incorporate anything, really.
Yeah, a little bit into it.
Yeah.
And it would work with, Mammoth. I mean, Mammoth, the color of a mammoth is pretty much like the color that I'm seeing.
Right,
you know?
right.
And then the Outlaws, it would work great, too, for whatnot. But yeah, I
feel like we become journalists because some of the stuff that we've talked about is actually coming to light.
Yeah.
And we're like, we don't have any insight or anything either.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, you nailed that one.
Yeah, I found it out on accident. I clicked a little button and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Wait a minute. I love it though. And honestly, it would work perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look at the Jazz colors. I mean, they're going to maybe try to piggyback off that. Even throw in a little bit of purple. Purple,
sure.
Awesome.
Well, I'm excited to see, our first season is under wraps, right? Pretty, it may go extended, but we made it, like, I feel like we can kind of like, especially you guys that work there,
take a deep breath.
And you guys are, and then you're going to have to start holding your breath when the renovations start and everything else. But
Stanley Cup, what are you thinking?
This year, Stanley Cup?
No. How many?
How long do you think it'll take
for Utah? I thought you meant this year. Who's going
to get to the Stanley Cup?
I already know my number. It's 3.
Yeah, I'd be probably in that ballpark, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Just because they're still very young.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's such a young team, but these guys, the Gunthers and the Coolies.
Gunther and we've got them for 8 years.
That's right.
And they mesh so well together. And then, like, we got a pretty solid core on D.
Yes, absolutely.
We've got some vets back there.
Cole, Marino,
Sergey. I mean,
Sergey's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Big pickup on
goaltending situation is kind of playing itself out, which is
and I like Staubauer, and I mean I know Ingram's get.
We think Veggie needs a little bit of a break, but
It's a lot. It's a lot when a goalie's never played as much as he has. 12, 13, 14 in a row.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like I even said it the other day to him. I was like, I mean, this isn't going to air till next week, but I'm like, Veggie needs a break. If we're rolling into this, like against Detroit, I think Staubauer would have been great.
Yeah,
give him a break. He needs a break. I mean, seeing so much all the time, often.
I think their thinking is you want to go in with the guy you feel gives you the best chance, right? So that's
for sure
why they go with Veggie every time. I get it, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
you're right. It is a lot.
All right, I got to cut you guys off. We're going to run out of film here.
Are we? Dang
the time flies in here. It's like a time capsule.
It's been fun, fellas. Let's do it again sometime.
No, we will. We'll have you back on.
Excellent.
Seriously, thanks for coming, Dave.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, look forward to it, guys. This is the first season of many. It's going to get interesting. So
we'll try to find you and bug you when we go to the.
Please do.
Yeah.
I'm at the top of 21X.
Okay, I was going to ask you where
21X.
Yeah,
at the perch.
Cool. Come give you a little.
Right on.
Love it. Anytime. Please do.
This has been the Puck Draw Podcast. We'll see you next week.